We got a little bit of a problem now. We got a little bit of an issue because the American media, in their infinite wisdom, has been saying for the last 2 months that Russia has been losing the war, that Russia's a big pussy, and that everybody who lives in Russia can barely put two hands together to fight, and the Russian military is useless. Now, apparently, that offended Putin. We all want less war, right? I want less war. I don't want a nuclear war, but the defense contractors will explain to you the positives of a little nuclear reset. That's why they're just saying tactical nukes. They're using these words tactical. It's not a big deal, it's tactical. It's a tactical nuke. It's a little nuke here and there, boom, boom, boom. But we're on our way there because Russia wanted these two regions. They wanted Donbass and the other one. The people there are majority Russian. They speak Russian. A lot of them are sympathizers with Russia. When Zelensky came into power, which is kind of like a CIA coup, he eliminated the pro-Russian party. So they had no representation. He is basically going in there and saying, I want these regions that were Russian. They were Russian. I want them, and I don't want Ukraine to join NATO, which is expanded a bunch of times. And it's Ukraine's on the doorstep of Russia. He doesn't want missiles there. He doesn't want to. That's what he doesn't want, okay? He's been very specific about what he wants in this conflict. And then the Ukraine and the U.S., we've been very, general. We've been very, vague and, very big picture. He's been Donbass, the other one, he wants that, and no NATO. And then our response to that is here's a Ukrainian folk song, and how dare you? It's and then Zelensky the other day goes, we can have no negotiations with Putin because he's a leader with no future. Who decided that? He has a future in Russia. The coups did not work. He's still there. I remember in the beginning, everyone's the Russians will turn on him. They haven't. He's still there. So now Zelensky is calling essentially for the removal of the leader of the country that has the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. Someone in our government has to shut him up. Someone in our government has to go, you can't do this. This is not appropriate to say that Putin is a leader with no future. How does this work out in everyone's head? Here's the reality. How do we see this working out? Russia taking the L, walking away. Putin looking at the elites of his country and going, yeah, well, I embarrassed us all. We couldn't even beat Ukraine. They just took out 40% of Ukraine's electrical grid. We were in Romania and people were yeah, I was talking to this Ukrainian girl on Snapchat. She's gone now because there's but Russia's you keep saying we're just going to bomb you. We have all the missiles. That's what war is now. Everybody's the Russians can't even fight. It's they have all the missiles. It's not a UFC fight. They're just going to go in there and level the fucking country. And Zelensky, I don't know if he doesn't understand that or he thinks he's in a movie, but there's other people too besides this guy. It should just be deal time. Zelensky should go, it's time for a deal. Let's cut a deal. We're sorry, you're sorry. We've done things, you've done things. Let's move on. But instead of that, we are sending more money, sending more weapons, and marching towards nuclear war. We're doing nuclear war drills over the Donbass region of the Ukraine. We're maybe going to nuclear war over something called Donbass that we couldn't tell this guy to give up to Vladimir Putin. We're going to get nuked over this. We're going to get nuked over this. Can you imagine if you're sitting in your backyard and you get nuked over this shit, over these two fucking regions in the fucking Ukraine? They speak Russian anyway. Can you imagine if you're vaporized over this garbage? It's crazy to me that nobody's trying to calm this down. There's nobody trying to calm it down. Everybody's Putin's a psychopath. He's holding the world hostage with nuclear weapons. He's sick. He should be removed. And then what happens when he's gone? Russia, you shouldn't poke these people and put them in a corner where the only way out of it is a nuclear weapon. Give them a path. Give them a deal. Here's Donbass. Here's Crimea. Throw in another shithole. You get this too. Give him a third thing he doesn't even want. Give him another shithole. You get that. Give him Zelensky at this point. What we should do is just get Zelensky and deliver him to Putin. Give him Donbass and Crimea because we got to make a deal. And it's not everyone's going to go, well, that's crazy. He's going to be tortured and murdered. Yes, unfortunately, yes. But we do have to move on here. The Ukraine show is taking up a lot of attention and no one really cares anymore. And every article now is just nuclear war is coming, nuclear war is imminent. Should we even stop nuclear war? Why would we even try to stop nuclear war? Let's just all get adjusted to the idea of nuclear war. Over the Ukraine, over Donbass. Go to Donbass and hit image. And let's go all see what we're dying for. Because we're all going to die over this. We might as well have like some type of idea. Okay, there it is. It looks like Austin, Texas. So instead of just giving that dump to Russia, we're all going to die. That makes sense, right? So that every defense contractor in America can sneak into a private bunker when the nuclear war hits and then count money. Great. Well, and we're like, yeah, but did you read the piece in the New Yorker? Did you read that? The New York Times really served it up to Putin. It's like, no, guys, I'm telling you, Putin's been very specific about what he wants. We've been vague in general. And in an argument, when someone's very specific and someone else is just kind of pie in the sky, like very general, usually the specific person kind of has the upper hand because they're going, hey, here are the things that I want. They will make this better. And you're going like, I don't even know you. It's like, that's not helpful. So instead of like all the freedom and democracy stuff, just give it to him. Just give him what he wants. Give him what he wants, and it'll all be okay. Because there's no way because Zelensky's so high on himself. So we're setting up a situation where Russia has to be humiliated on the world stage. Understand what that means. Understand what it means that we are putting Russia in a position where the only outcome that we think is acceptable is if Russia is completely isolated and humiliated in front of the world. Russia, the country with the biggest nuclear arsenal, Russia, that country. We want them to be humiliated. We want Putin to like say sorry, do a press conference, apologize, pull troops out. In somebody's brain, they think that's going to happen, and it is not. You know, I think everybody wants the war to end, and nobody wants it to end in like a mushroom cloud. The thing that seems to matter is just missiles, just pressing a button and then shooting a missile. So give it back. Let Putin have it. Do not go to a nuclear war over this. And then there's all these articles like, well, what will we do if he fires nukes? Will we fire? It's like, hey, fucking give him what he wants. Try to understand what I'm saying here. If we end up in a nuclear war at this point, after kind of seeing what I've seen, it seems like we may be the reason that we go into nuclear war, which maybe some people want. Maybe some people want. People are like, well, we've only put one pathway to a victory, and that victory is that Ukraine gets everything they want, Russia's humiliated, and the United States does some like Twitter party where we all just fucking smack Putin down. So there's that. There's option one, where Russia's humiliated on the world stage in a massive public humiliation, or we're gonna have a nuclear war. There's gonna be a nuclear confrontation. So it's one of the two. Russia takes the L. They walk out. They go, yeah, sorry. We tried. We do suck. We are bitches. We are stupid bitches. Boy, was that a miscalculation. Like Putin gets out and goes, hey, I thought it would be easier, but guess what? We're bitches. And we fucking lost. And the U.S. is fucking dope. They didn't fight, but they sent fucking, oh, no, they didn't fight. They didn't do that. But they sent arms to the Ukraine, and they put Zelensky on the covers of all of their magazines, and they got all of that, and then they said I was a crazy motherfucker, because I am. I'm a crazy bitch. Putin goes, I'm a crazy bitch, and that's why I am leaving the Ukraine. I'm sorry. Join NATO. In fact, we're joining NATO. Putin goes, Russia's joining NATO. We're disarming. We're turning all of our nukes over to NATO. We're joining NATO. Or nuclear war. I don't know. What's more likely? That or a nuclear exchange? What seems to be more likely? This is not worth dying over. We've done enough. And again, encourage your elected leaders. Call them tonight and tell them to stop supporting the Ukraine. If you want to live, call your congressmen, call your senators, and tell them it's time to stop it now. And I'm telling you right now, we got to stop this shit, because there's going to be a nuclear fucking war over the Ukraine. What the fuck is going on?